Welcome to the Atlanta Real, where real life, real talk, and real stories happen. So, today we have a very beautiful, gorgeous young lady named Anushka Aaron. She is a certified plant based nutritionist and a holistic health and wellness transformation coach. She came about with her ideology of Circle of Excellence, which is a complete balance of mind, body, and soul. Now, she has also established an online health coaching business called Mystinct for wholesome nutrition for body, mind, and soul. So, welcome, Anushka. We're so happy to have you here. So, tell us a little bit about what brought you to Canada.
So first of all, thank you for having me here, Adeline. So what brought me to Canada was my studies. I came when I was about 15 years old. I did 2 years or 3 years of high school here, and now I'm doing an undergraduate degree from University of Toronto in computer science and mathematics. And I'm following my passion along the way with my degree. So yeah.
That's cool. So, what made you develop this passion for holistic health?
So my passion actually started, always been very passionate or loving towards food, like we all love food. But for
Right.
me, it went beyond that. Like I love fitness. I used to be like a gym person. I used to love going to the gym. But my reasons back then were you eat and you lose what you eat. So back when I was 14, 15, there were all these beauty standards around me where I felt like if I eat too much, I need to go and lose it at the gym, right?
Right.
So the
Yeah.
gym was only a place for me where I kind of punished myself for eating too much. But then slowly and slowly, I started really thinking about what health really means. Is it just losing weight, looking skinny, or looking whatever the world thinks we should look like? But then I started thinking more about it, and I realized like health is not just one aspect. It's not just appearance. Health is so much more than that. Like health is
Exactly.
your complete life, right? Like, the cliche health as well. So I started searching up things and thinking about what it really means to be healthy. I realized like health is actually a combination of how your mind feels, how your body is, and how your soul is. It's not just how your body looks, but it's how it feels, right? So that's kind of how I started getting into wholesome nutrition and holistic health. I actually found holistic health through that because that's what holistic health means. It means mind, body, and soul. It sees a person as a whole instead of just one aspect of them. Yeah.
That's cool. Thank you for explaining part of it. So, in this world of keto and paleo, why were you so inclined to a plant-based diet?
So the reason I was inclined towards a plant-based diet was keto and paleo are essentially more towards like they're mainly just diets. They're mainly for um, they're essentially for health reasons. Sometimes people take onto these diets for health reasons, or sometimes people take onto these diets because they've been recommended by their doctors, right? And whereas plant-based diet, it has been scientifically shown to be better for longevity. And also I read this book called Best Self by Mike Byers, and he discusses about how there's a bacteria in our gut that
Right.
literally has the power to control our brain. So I started reading more and more of these books, and I realized like how important clean eating is. So it's not about what's like has less calories or what's making me like healthier in like a appearance kind of way. It's more about what's making me cleaner so that my mind can think more, or so that my mind can operate at its optimal level. So that's why I'm inclined toward plant-based, because I found personally, I felt that it's the cleanest version of eating. That's why I'm inclined towards plant-based.
Yeah. I think I would settle for that. Probably that's the cleanest version of putting something into your body. You know,
Yeah,
as well as enjoying it as well. So,
exactly.
can you explain briefly about this ideology circle of influence? It sounds very fancy, so I really want to know more about it.
Thank you. So it's actually Circle of Excellence, and what it stands for is my company logo is actually like there are three circles, one within each other, and one of them is mind, the second is body, and the third is soul.
Ah,
So the whole circle is you kind of need a balance between the three to be completely healthy or to be completely yourself, you know. Even if one of them are out of balance, you cannot achieve your excellence. That's what I feel personally. And the circle of excellence kind of brings all of them together. You see a circle, it's so well packed, like it's combined, it's a ball, right? And it's my logo is golden yellow, which means like you're a power packed ball once all of it comes together.
Right.
So that's my ideology, because I want health to be wholesome. I want it to be something like your most vibrant life you can live. Because if you go on Google, actually, it's interesting. You go define health, and it would say a person who's free of illness. Well, that's not health, because health is so much more than just being free of illness.
Right. So I think all these three are like linked together, right? Your body, mind.
Mhm.
And for me, at this point of my life, I always like I am tuned to my body. You know, I listen to my body.
Mhm.
You know how it feels every day, like what it talks to me, what it says.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
And then I go, you know, follow it, like, you know, what is next, or what to eat or what not to eat. So
Exactly. Your body knows the best. That's
I know the best.
yeah.
So you said in your bio you're passionate about helping women. Is there any specific group of women that you like to help? Or
So I would like to help women my age or women that are around the age of 15 to 30, because I see that in that age group, women have the most beauty standards pressured upon
Mhm.
them,
Right.
right? And with that, like even through my personal experience, nutrition versus deprivation. So diets are all about deprivation, like don't eat this much, don't eat for this amount of time. But I feel like nutrition is so much more than that. So I wanted to help women in this age group, because I feel like beauty standards should are meant to be broken. They're meant to be rebellious, and they're meant to achieve what their body needs. And
Right.
that doesn't mean that it's unhealthy. Healthy means that your best self. So I think I wanted to help women realize like there's something more powerful within them than the society allows them to be, just because of the standards it places on them.
Wow. So now, I just wanted to ask you this. It just came to my mind. So you were
Hmm.
doing computer technology, you said, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how are you going to use that, you know, for you pursuing your passion, you know, in a business like this?
So I think through my 3 years of university life in computer science, the most important thing I've learned is problem solving. So it's problem
Ah,
solving skills,
yeah,
and it's like that backward engineering. So you see a problem, you first do not think about your steps to the solution. Think about the perfect solution that could be, and then work your way backwards, right? So
yeah.
I think with my ideology with this, that's what I'm going to try doing. I'm going to see this as a problem solving ideology from my perspective, and I'm going to try implementing the best way I can, like the most optimized solution to it, find
Right.
the best way I can solve it. And maybe in the future, if I think this is going well, I can try creating a software or something that is supportive towards the same idea. I don't know, but I think like
Right.
there's a future for it. Yeah.
Well, that's a great idea. Probably an app too. You could develop an app, you know,
Yeah,
and then so that people can install and download and follow you as well.
exactly.
Briefly about your online health coaching business. My Stint, am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, you're pronouncing it right. So it actually came about from my instinct. So I joined it together because instincts are so important. Like you said, you listen to your body when you want to know
Right,
what you're doing. And that's your instincts talking to you, right? Like you
right,
don't think second about who is talking to you. It's your instincts that tell you to do something. So we are so strong in our instincts, but we humans often tend to forget about instincts, or often tend to forget about listening to our instincts. So that's why I started this online coaching business, so that we can really feel the connections with our connection with ourselves, with our inner self.
right.
And my coaching business, I'm offering like health coaching classes, because nutrition can get confusing, and diets and all of this, like all the trends, it can get very confusing. So I wanted to be that coach, or that kind of like just a helper, just to assist people understand what wholesome nutrition is, or what like feeling fully satisfied with your body and your mind really is. And secondly, I like my other part is wellness transformation. This means that you are completely well in terms of stress management and other things that factor into your health. Because like there are things in our mind that we sometimes do not know how to control. So how do we build habits, or how do we cultivate the right mindset that supports us or supports our growth the best? Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm all about it,
Thank you.
Anushka. And also, like, I wanted to ask you as well. There are so many out there doing this. Like, I mean, what is so unique about your passion? I would say.
I would say the most unique thing about my passion is my personal experience, because I'm not someone who is trying to look at it from a zoomed out perspective. I'm someone who has been through it. As a young girl, I've experienced what pretty much every young girl around me experienced: diets and the craziness that goes around about what's right, what's not right. Oh, you can't eat that, that's not healthy. Or maybe if you're trying to eat healthy, it's not tasty at all, but I have to eat it because I have to look good. So all those things that go in our mind completely take away our health from us. I might like they might look good, or they might be the perfect size, but how is their health? Like, are they actually healthy? So what's unique about my business is this integration of all the three things, like all the three aspects of our lives: mind, body, and soul, that can truly make us healthy. So I wanted to talk about my personal journey and how I changed, how everything worked out for me when I started
Right.
balancing these three things. So that's why I think that's the most unique thing about my business, I would say.
That is very true. So you're selling your passion, you're selling your story, and that's what people want to see, right? So, are
True.
you selling any other? Are you planning to sell any other product other than your health webinars online or?
So I'm planning to make into courses, because I feel courses are sometimes easier to follow if people are not able to book personal classes with me. So maybe I can post courses that walk people through the same ideologies, and I can share my perspective on nutrition and share some basic knowledge that might get lost in all the internet trends on, let's say, what exactly are the best sources of macronutrients, or what kind of food suits someone's bodies. So courses that will talk about that on my website. I also have a blog on my website where I discuss different ideas, such as how your why is very important, right? Like your personal why or your personal purpose is so important. So things like that. I write blogs on mind, body, and soul.
Mhm. That's great.
And last thing is, I have been putting together a PDF, or like kind of an ebook, which talks about immunity boosting or
Mhm.
immunity heal, because
Mhm.
with today's condition, immunity has become so important.
Mhm.
And yeah, like we need to take care of our immune system. So I'm
Right.
planning to have rollouts like ebooks from time to time, so that people can quickly get informed about the things that matter and find everything in one place.
So cool. So you have it all planned and laid out. Very good. So, how
Thank
do you
you.
see yourself, like Anushka? To think of Anushka, how do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I see myself as an entrepreneur, because I feel that I am someone who would love to put out what's been given to me. So I feel like I've had a lot of input throughout my life, throughout all the experiences. And I think my 5 years would only be successful in true terms to me if I'm able to output at least 75% of everything I've learned so far. So I see myself, first of all, I hope my instinct is able to help people the way I wanted to help people, with no judgments, no
Right.
any kind of barriers. I want it to be something that truly empowers women in the simplest way possible, because sometimes it can get so complicated, that all these ideologies can get so complicated, but I want it to be communicated in the simplest way possible. So I see this business maybe running and helping people out, and I wanted to create like kind of a chain reaction. I want those people to be able to help other people or radiate
Right.
that light around
That is
them.
awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome.
And
I
career
don't think
wise,
anybody has thought about it. So,
thank you. And
um,
I think, sorry, go on.
what is your advice to young women or young people your age out there?
I would say be rebellious, be yourself,
Yeah.
because No one in this world knows you better than you, and we're all on our unique paths. And the best way to completely embrace yourself is just listen to your instincts.
So I'm sure you're very active on social media. So how can people find you? Like, they have any questions to ask or?
So I have an Instagram that I started where I post blogs right now, like kind of post these same ideas. It's called my.stinct. I'm on Instagram, and I've also started my website called mystinct.com. But it's very recent because I've been doing the back end kind of workings of it, preparing the courses, preparing the webinars. But I will get soon to managing the social media well too once I fully have the material and the content ready and I'm ready to give out to the world my best knowledge. Yeah.
So I want to ask, for a couple of things, like, how do you manage your, your school and your passion?
So I think once you find something you like time doesn't feel like it's like a restriction. Like for me, it's so easy to manage things. Like sometimes it does get like confusing. Oh, should I be working right now? Should I be working on my blog? But at the same time, when it's something you think or something that you truly believe in, it's easy to put it out on a blog, because if it's like truly your ideology, you start seeing it everywhere. Like I feel like since I started believing in this, I started finding more books, more articles,
Right.
more courses on this. So I feel like I'm receiving information by itself. So it isn't too hard for me to put it out there now.
Right, right. And also, like, who's your role model? Like, who's helping you to do all this? Bringing all this together. I'm sure you'll have a role model. I mean, you follow or.
I, I would let me think about that. So I would say my
Who was
role
your
model.
inspiration? Who was your inspiration?
So my
You,
inspiration
apart from
was
you, yeah.
yeah, I think my inspiration were the books I read. I started getting into book reading a while ago because I read this quote by Jim Quick, actually. He is very famous in terms of brain and super memory, right? So he said that a reader lives 8,000 lives, right? Whereas a non reader lives one life. I don't know if it's his quote, but I heard it in his webinar. And I started reading books, and this one book I landed upon is called Best Self by Mike Byers. So his ideology is he's a life coach too. So when I saw the change happen, I thought, wow, like I'm so impressed by Mike Byers. Like he is an amazing person. He helped me transition into someone I love. And I want to be able to do that, like do exactly what he is doing in this world. He is out there sitting, I don't know how far, but he was able to change my life. So that was my inspiration
Wow.
that we should be able to do that for someone.
Mhm. That's nice. You came and you shared so much, Anushka. I have learned a lot from you as well, just by talking to
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you for coming again on my show. And I hope to, and you be the one, probably the future millennial, to keep an eye on, to follow, to watch out for. So thank you again for come on my show.
Thank you so much.
Valuable information, and I hope I can bring you back to my show again, sometime in the future. So
Yes.
thank you for watching the Atlanta Real, and stay tuned for more inspiring interviews like these. We believe that watching and listening to inspiring stories will open up your mind, will stimulate new ideas, and transform you to being a better person. So stay tuned and keep watching.
Thank you so much, Adeline. Thank you so much for your time.
See you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye bye. Thank